Ch.9 of The Power of Writing It Down by Allison Fallon. This one was called Become Your Own Narrator. This chapter was basically about how we can all tap into our intuition. Now, when we going through shit, we looking at the situation at a surface level. But when you write it down on paper and you look at your story on paper, it naturally makes you look at it from a different perspective, or more like you see it from like a bird's eye view. So the advice she gave was, look at your life like a movie. You look at yourself as the main character. Anybody else is just characters that you interacting with or whatnot, right? And then you have to find what she calls your narrator voice. Now, when you think of a narrator of a movie or a documentary or something like that, the narrator is somebody that's on the outside looking in. They emotionally detach from any of the characters, any of the emotions, any of the thoughts of the people that's involved in the movie. And they know what's going on, and they know what's finna go on. So when you writing your story, in order to use your narrator voice, you have to detach yourself from whatever you going through, whoever the people involved in the situation, the thoughts and emotions. And you have to just look at it for what it is, know what's going on, look at it from a bird's eye view, and then navigate from that point forward. And anytime you using your narrator voice when you writing, that's your inner wisdom, your intuition, the Holy Spirit. She was like, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is, just an inner knowing. And then she shared this little interesting piece of information in the chapter about how she was going through some shit. She was going through a divorce, right? So she was going through the divorce. Her friend gave her some advice. She was like, well, why don't you do a diary entry? Now, diary entry is you writing about an event in the future. You put a date on it, but you talk about it as if it already happened, as if it's in the present tense. So when she did what she said, when she did the diary entry, she wrote about her future involved with this man, this guy. She described all his attributes or whatever. And she talked about a few other things like kids and so on and so forth, right? Now, years later, she wound up meeting her next husband, and he fit pretty much all the qualities she described in that passage to a T. And, she was like, everything didn't happen, but the majority of it did, right? And she was just saying, basically, when you do that exercise, it forces you to visualize, and it makes your subconscious mind kind of drive you to those behaviors or whatever. So, I just thought that was interesting.